Good evening and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Source 16 News at 10. I'm Tammy Hancock. Thanks for joining us. New this hour, an Oak Grove man charged with murdering his roommate appeared in Christian County Circuit Court this afternoon for a pretrial conference. Judge Andrew Self told both attorneys that the court had received Seneca Moore's competency evaluation.
We had in the court file a report from KCPC. So I believe the next step would be for us to schedule a hearing, at which time we could have a determination with regard to Mr. Moore's competency to stand trial.
However, Commonwealth's attorney Lynn Pryor and Moore's attorney both indicated to the judge they had not received a copy of the report. Judge Self then scheduled a hearing to discuss the report on the morning of August 11th at 9:30. Moore was arrested and charged by Oak Grove police in connection to the death of his roommate, 22-year-old Terry Yoakum Jr. of Oak Grove, after putting him in a chokehold during an altercation outside their Gainey Drive residence. Yoakum was transported to Vanderbilt Medical Center in Nashville, where he died April 4th. Meanwhile, the defense attorney for Lori Little, who is accused of attacking the wife of Hopkinsville's mayor, requested a date for the judge to hear motions to dismiss the case and for a change of venue.
You said you want to have the motion for a change of venue heard at that time?
I haven't filed it yet, Your Honor.
Well, you haven't filed. Was there another hearing? You want to have it. You want to have a hearing on your motion for a speedy trial, for your motion to dismiss.
I want to set that on the same day.
Those are the two motions that,
yes,
at least at this point. Okay. All right. We can set those in for August the 24th, and you can file anything that you need to file that you haven't filed.
Prior to the discussion regarding the motions hearing, Commonwealth's attorney Lynn Pryor told Judge Self that she is getting an affidavit from Sarah Kranz, who retired from the Christian County Board of Education, that states she has no information regarding Little's daughter being homeschooled, as well as any and all records of homeschooled students in the school district. She also indicated to Judge Self there were no taped interviews with the mayor, Dan Kemp, and his wife, Henrietta, after she was allegedly attacked at their home by Little on December 16th, but that all notes and the police report were turned over to the Kentucky Correctional Psychiatric Center. Judge Self told the attorneys he still has not received Little's medical records from Vanderbilt and Nashville, but that the case needs to move forward and those records and any other information can be supplemented. Again, Little will be back in court on the afternoon of August 24th at 1 o'clock. In other news, Fort Campbell's Blanchfield Army Community Hospital held a change of command ceremony earlier today to mark the departure of a medical leader while welcoming another officer. Colonel John Cook relinquished his command to Colonel Paul Courts at Box Emergency Center Lawn. Following the change of command ceremony, Colonel Cook thanked everyone for their support during his tenure at the hospital.
To my peers and fellow commanders, thanks for the support and comradeship. It was a privilege serving with each of you. To my fellow officers, NCOs, and civilian leaders, I cannot fully express my heartfelt gratitude for the leadership you display every day. Your professional competence and total dedication to the soldier, the families, and our beneficiary population is awe-inspiring. It has indeed been my distinct pleasure and good fortune to have served with each of you these last 2 short years.
Meanwhile, Courts stated he was up for the challenge and bound to continue to provide soldiers and their families the best medical care the Army could provide.
I am humbled to stand before you today, given the honor of commanding Blanchfield Army Community Hospital, to serve the soldiers and families of the 101st Airborne Division, the tenant units, and all beneficiaries of this medical treatment facility. My wife and I look forward to becoming integral members of the Fort Campbell leadership teams and this community. The great strengths and synergy built by the efforts of Colonel Cook's team in conjunction with this division and Fort Campbell units are recognized by the Army and sought as best practices in Army medicine.
Courts previously served as the Wynn Army Community Hospital commander at Fort Stewart, Georgia. In other news, a new director of facilities for Christian County Public Schools has been hired. Effective August 1st, Dan Dameron will replace Ivan Baker, who resigned from the position July 1st after 13 years of employment. Dameron was previously the superintendent for Codell Construction Company, where he has worked the past 2 years. Superintendent Brady Link says with the hard work he has already done with the new Christian County Middle School, he's confident that he will continue his hard work in this position. School officials say 7 people applied for the position. Meanwhile, in an effort to prepare students and parents for the upcoming school year, Christian County Public School teachers will be visiting the homes of their students starting next week. Teachers in all 15 public schools will be meeting with at least 10 of their incoming students during the week of August 1st through August 5th. Superintendent Brady Link says the home visit program began 2 years ago to allow our teachers to make a personal connection with students and parents and to foster a positive relationship as early in the school year as possible. Officials say teachers are not required to be physically inside a home of the student, and conversations with teachers on the front porch, driveway, or yard are acceptable. According to academic research, home visits are a valuable tool for improving school-to-home communication and enhancing the relationship between school personnel, students, and their families. And while it's summer vacation, that's not stopping some Christian County kids from learning and exploring career options. Hopkinsville Community College partnered up with the Christian County Public School System to provide 2 youth camps this week. Michelle Herron brings us more.
So they did Club Invention already last year and wanted to do that camp again this year, and that's for 1st through 6th graders. And then through the conversation, we got to talking about doing something for older kids, so we decided to do Ready Set College, which is for 6th through 9th graders.
Ready Set College lets students literally get a hands-on approach to experience career fields like fingerprinting, something HCC Criminal Justice Program Coordinator Greg Bridgman says lets students understand the difference between theory and reality.
Most of them are watching CSI on TV, and they don't realize that what they're seeing on TV and reality are 2 different things. And I wanted them to get a feel that it's not as easy as it looks like on TV.
Allowing these kids to explore possible careers is something Christian County Public Schools enrichment specialist Kim Batts says needs to be introduced earlier than ever before.
They end up wasting a lot of time as well as money, when they start college and then start changing those things. And what they want to do in career could also decide what classes they need to take at the high school levels.
Club Invention allows students to explore their creativity with math and science concepts, and according to enrichment specialist Leanne Pickrell, gets students to think outside the box.
It is not paper pencil, it is all hands-on activities, lots of creative answers. There is not a one right answer.
Now, both day camps will continue through Friday. A Hopkins County teen was injured in a wreck after police say he fell asleep while driving Tuesday afternoon. According to Kentucky State Police, 18-year-old Adam Darnell of St. Charles was driving westbound on Kentucky 112 Isley Road when about 2 miles west of Arlington. It appears he fell asleep at the wheel and his pickup truck ran off the road and crashed into a tree. Darnell, who was wearing a seatbelt, was transported by ambulance to Regional Medical Center in Madisonville for treatment. And a disturbance call in Marshall County yesterday afternoon netted the arrest of a Benton man for possessing methamphetamine. Marshall County Sheriff's deputies responded to a report of a disturbance of a man with a knife in the 5000 block of US 68 West. Upon arrival, police reportedly found a man, later identified as 58-year-old Gregory McCall of Benton, walking around the house carrying a large knife, saying that people had come into the residence to hurt him. After an investigation, police found a baggie inside the residence that tested positive for meth, as well as a syringe and other drug paraphernalia. McCall was arrested and charged with first-degree possession of a controlled substance and drug paraphernalia. He was lodged in the Marshall County Detention Center. Ed Whitfield wants the president to act on a permit that he says could drastically cut America's importing of foreign oil and could create jobs. He's talking about the Keystone XL project, a pipeline that would bring oil into the U.S. from neighboring Canada. Whitfield is the chairman of the House Subcommittee on Energy and Power. He has proposed a bill that would require the president to act on the permit to build, which is set in limbo for 3 years. The bill would not require him to approve it, just act on it before November of this year. In his remarks to the House, Whitfield said the Department of Energy had determined that building the pipeline could substantially reduce the amount of oil brought into the U.S. from Middle Eastern countries. He also said that approving the building of the pipeline could create up to 20,000 domestic jobs. The House is expected to vote on the bill this evening. It is expected to pass the Republican-controlled body and will then go to the Senate for consideration. Now here is Hopkinsville Christian County Crime Stoppers Coordinator Officer Paul Ray with the featured fugitives of the week.
This week, police need your help locating 2 wanted fugitives.
Police are looking for 36-year-old Philip Stephen Crum, who's wanted for probation violation. Crum is a white male who stands 5 feet, 7 inches tall and weighs 175 pounds. His last known address was the 700 block of Hickory Ridge. Police are also looking for 24-year-old Charles Montez Hobson, who's wanted on multiple warrants. Hobson is a black male who stands 6 feet, 2 inches tall and weighs 350 pounds. His last known address was the 900 block of Van Buren Avenue.
If you know where police can locate these wanted fugitives, and we've got cash waiting for you. Pick up your phone now and call our tips line at 887-TIPS. If your information leads to an arrest, Crime Stoppers will pay you a cash reward. And remember, we will never ask your name, and you will not have to appear in court. Well, this week's Fugitive of the Week, I'm Officer Paul Ray for Crime Stoppers.